there are certain other things I want you to see before we leave today. One of them is the new field house. Beautiful field house with 2 full basketball courts, a training room, a therapy room, a weight room, and the band and the choir have their headquarters over in the new field house. But that's pretty nice when you think of all the facilities that we had when we were here. I was here in 1943, and if you flipped an ankle or something, well, tough. You put a tape on it, and that was it. You didn't get a training room or a facility room. And this therapy room is beautiful. I hope that Ed Lee, I hope that he has it open too, because you've got to see that too. Another place I want you to see is the new library downstairs. It's down on this side. You remember where the cafeteria was? No longer. No longer cafeteria because the kids quit using it. They were going down to McDonald's and open campus, I guess, lately. McDonald's, and we had a Wendy's down there, and so none of the kids were using the cafeteria. They do have one room down there. If the kids bring their own lunch, they can go ahead and sit in there and eat. The last time Francis and I were down here on a Christmas deal, we were walking up on the 3rd floor, and here were all the kids sitting on the deck, just sitting on the floor, eating their sandwiches, and I wondered, man, what a mess that's going to be when they're done. But I guess they're pretty good. They're pretty good at it. So, this I want you to see. I want you to see the field house. I want you to see the downstairs library, which is really, it's really a collegiate library. Beautifully done. You would really enjoy it. A lot better than the library that we used to have up here in the 2nd floor, where we could hardly get 10 kids in there. Well, what Francis is saying, in the field house, there's a big portable wall that push a button and it goes up, and they've got wide open, for 2 complete basketball courts. Push another button, it goes down. You push another button, and the bleachers come out. You remember how we used to push those bleachers back in, bang, 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 back in? And that was kind of a tough thing at that time too. Okay, any questions you guys have? I probably don't know the answers.
How long did it take to renovate the building?
Well, 2 years, really. The kids for 2 years went down here 2 blocks to the Holly Mason building that the next Lewis and Clark kid owned and leased it to the district. And it worked out beautifully. The kids just handled it well. You never even knew there was a bother for them to walk 2 blocks. Of course, some of them were sorry they couldn't graduate from here. They graduated from the Holly Mason. They even had, for a while, they were putting Holly Mason t-shirts on. That didn't last. So about 2 years. And the gentleman named Steve McNutt was the architect. Great guy. He came down here. He had kids here too. Came down and talked to the kids and walked in the halls with us and all things like that to really get the feeling of the building, because he didn't want to lose the traditional feeling that we have here. And of course, the strength of this whole school is tradition. It's been here since, I told you, since 1893. And the new high school takes over, and it takes a long time to build any tradition. But you could have a lousy year here in athletics, for example. I don't like to use that. It wouldn't matter because the tradition would carry it right on anyway. And we've had some bad years too. Okay, questions, anybody?
What's in between these windows in the building?
Okay, we used to, in the old building, we used to be able to take tours up onto the roof. And I don't know that that's open anymore on the 3rd floor. Anyway, down each side is a big well, just a big air well. And that's where all the air was sucked into this air reconditioning system. It came right down through there, sucked in and washed and put back into the classrooms. And pretty good deal for those days. 1910, that's why the people thought it was such a great thing. Yes? Oh, I'm sorry. Notice the stage 2 has expanded a great deal. And they have the organ, which, beautiful organ, used to sit right over here in the corner, if you remember, has all been renovated for $200,000. Wow. It's on wheels. It can be placed any place in the stage, on the stage for any kind of a drama or program that they have. And the reason it costs so much is because the year before renovation, some kids got up into the bell towers where all the pipes are. Every lead pipe was bent right over. And all the wooden pipes were broken. And so it took a little while, and it took a gentleman from Seattle to come over and set the whole organ up. But it's beautiful, and I wish somebody could play it. We'd pull it out. Yes?
How many years were you here, and when did you retire?
Well, I graduated in 43. And 4.5 years is what it took me to get through high school. And the reason I say that, well, we were mid-student graduates, January graduates. In those days, we had 2 a year, January and June. Our whole basketball team, all 5 of us, were January graduates. Squinty came up to Fan Lake where he had all of us working. I was running the waterfront things. Anyway, he came up and said, I don't want you guys taking U.S. history till the 2nd semester. So we had to stay over an extra semester, which is great because we won the state tournament, which is fine. Only team in Spokane to never lose a game.
Wow.
Now, then I started teaching here in 1950. And I retired from here in 79 and went to work for Whitworth, training principals in the area.
Wow.
And that was much fun too. So 34.5 years, I guess I was here. My wife was here at the same time because she went with me to everything. The last 2 years, she kept track how many nights we were out. And out of 180 school nights, we were out 149.
Oh,
But that's the job.
That's a
You don't
lot.
want to do that, you shouldn't be a principal.
Right.
Any other questions?
Mr. Miller, like,
Rodney, say,
Mr. Miller, the VP?
Mr. Miller.
Yeah, how's he doing?
He's doing great. He's the vice principal.
Right.
It was our vice principal. He's doing great. He lives out on the Little Spokane River. And interesting because once every month, all the old faculty retired fellows, retired fellows get together for breakfast. And I was telling Miss Skinner, her dad has not been there for about 3 or 4 breakfasts. And he should get on. She should get on. Anyway, we just all get together. There's 18 or 20 of us sometime, 14. And it's real neat because Bob Miller's there and Zimmer and all the faculty that you had. Interesting thing. A couple of weeks ago, the class of 56 had their 50th anniversary, and a couple of weeks before that, or months before that, a gal called me and said, would you help us find faculty and send me their addresses and things of that sort. And so we dug out the old annual and looked at it. You'd be surprised. Gone, gone, here, gone, gone. About 80% were gone. But then you stop and think, those people were 40, 50 years old 50 years ago. So they're not going to live forever.
What about Mr. Weiss?
I'm sorry.
Mr. Weiss?
Mr. White's is still around.
Is he still teaching here?
He's not teaching, no.
He was 10 years ago. I was
He's
shocked.
retired.
He was still in the same room 10 years ago.
He lives up on 21st or 2nd up in there.
Really?
He comes to breakfast all the time too.
Huh.
It's really neat to have those guys. And all the faculty that you remember, there's still most of them. One gentleman that was here before you, Louis Livingston, that name strikes, before you were, is 105 years old now. And he lives up in Rockwood. And the sad thing is, he still has his driver's license. And he could never drive before. Got it for 3 years. The rest of the faculty, I'm sure that you know, either they're around or they're gone, but I don't know. I
Mr.
don't
Miller?
think we need to go through all the faculty, Mike.
Mr. Miller?
Pardon?
Mr. Miller?
Which Miller?
Bob?
Ron's still around, yes. He's not, he's retired too. We had 3, 4 Millers on at one time.
Wow.
Right.
Ron Miller, Ray Miller, Clarence Miller, and Carl Miller.
Huh.
And Ron's the only one left. Ray Miller was our baseball coach. Okay, any other questions? Well, I appreciate you never were this good when you were in class. So it's kind of nice to talk.
Well, thank you very much, Mr.
One
Anderson.
more thing, Mike.
Okay.
If any of you are interested in the history of the school that Nancy Gale Campo has written, you can pick one up here. It's just a 2-page thing, and I think you'd enjoy it. Well done, and it's very factual. So, go ahead, Mike.
Okay, great. Well, the janitor's back there, but you guys can we're just really walk around anywhere, correct?
Yes.
All right, so
You should have all of those.
have at her and enjoy, and we We will see you tonight at Ella's at
You know, there's one other thing I should tell you.
One more thing, you guys.
Remember the old gym downstairs? The old boys' gym? It was downstairs, the old girls' gym. Well, when they decided to rebuild over there, they had to take that old ad building out, which was above the old boys' gym down there. And when they went in there, they found out that if they took that out, the whole Stevens Street would collapse. So they had to ton tons of cement in there underneath the Stevens Street. Because of that, we have 32 beautiful new classrooms up here too now because of that.
Oh.
Anyway, that's the kind of facility we had when you were here. You may have caused it.
I'm not looking at you.
I'm recording.
Hey, let's turn it on. A week. That's all right though.
Okay, this thing is running, folks. I think I better turn it away from the stairwell.
Trying to figure this school out.
I know.
Yeah, it's like, where's the locker? Where's the, what's it? I don't know. What's this wall? This wall's not supposed to be. Oh, I know. Yeah. Well, should we go down to Barnes and Noble? I've never seen it.
So they ran out of something.
Oh, no, that is fine. No, yeah, I like it. And what happened to all the pictures?
You're Rob.
I am.
I got pictures of all the walls. They're easily the same picture.
30 years, 24 hours.
Again.
Someone else's. That worked.
Homework? No, kidding.
New lockers.
I heard a snowball from the top floor to the first floor, and this girl was sitting, you know how we used to sit on the things on the first floor? And she had a drink right next to her, I picked it up perfectly, and it went right over onto her, just washed her out with her drink, you know what I mean? She started screaming, "No!"
Smoker's Corner right out there.
Yeah, that's right. Good looking kid. Okay, I do remember.
He was a Japanese lawyer, international lawyer,
Come on.
and he just came back to States not too long ago.
19, and that's 73. Where's 74? What's the? These guys, no. You're 50s, baby. You're out. 62. Yeah, we all end up taking the same poses, you know, in our pictures too, if I remember correctly. You got the hand here.
My hand wasn't there.
Oh, we know where your hands are.
Jeez.
It's too funny. I remember that. This is cool.
Yeah, so they basically covered up the stairwells.
Yeah, see, maybe we can't throw nothing down. Crack shot. This way.
And then he'll present by himself, and Jack and myself, and
Okay, Ty did not.
Skipping class?
Skipping class again.
That's what he's good at, I hear.
Oh, this is great. See what I wanted to get into? Really? I love law enforcement, forensics, that kind of shit.
That's fine.
It's really funny, you know, if you see somebody you don't like up top, chuck something down at them. Then pull your head back so they didn't see it. Can't fit much in the lockers. They don't, yeah.
Elevator.
I know, I saw this. They got an elevator? Oh, what are you trying to say, on tees?
Best collection of art in this school.
I gotta say, they have some awesome pictures. I'm big on it.
1912.
I know, it's the only one I saw. Let's see if it works. Oh, my God. So warm. Did you get cold?
And is that down, is she down in California too? Go over there, then we can come back.
Hey, look at that bust.
You could take a picture.
Yes.
Oh, right on.
Yes.
Gary,
Yes.
that's what I liked about you.
Oh,
You're,
we're doing tiles.
you're the thinker.
Look at both ways. Someone else is thinking it might be.
I'm liking these elevators though. Wow.
Do they have a stop button in them?
In the elevators?
Yeah.
Always.
I'm trying to get as much as the art as I can so that everybody can have it on the DVD.
That's, I mean, the art is part of the school.
I think it's also on the internet.
I mean, they've gotta have.
Yeah, it's on the internet.
It is.
Yeah. Take the school virtual.
Is it under the school or?
It's in the school, Chelsea's website. It's virtual tool tour.
On. This library, hey, look, you can see. Resource. Doesn't everybody have it?
Hey,
Go ahead, hit us with the best shot. How do you get over there? You still going up on?
Who'd you have?
I don't know.
Oh, the guy or girl?
I think this guy. Starts with an S.
Cross country.
I'll have to ask every other student that's here. They don't know.
Cross country guy?
No, I don't know. What was it the second floor, the English room? I mean, the English teacher where you tied one knot on, tie something, a rope on one door handle, and then the other one was like right next to it, kind of kitty corner, block both doors and people couldn't get out.
Oh!
I was saying that somebody jumped off the third floor, she ran downstairs and got him. It's like, okay, you need to retire now.
There was one guy there, he cross country coach. Had a broken ankle, so I offered to help.
Just in case.
Well, he's at Washington State. Qualification.
Kids doing what's correct. That's what we use, boom, 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 you're out.
That could work.
Extended seat.
Yeah, it doesn't have any grants, repair. Maybe three. Somebody.
9mm Uzi ammo?
No. still make ammo?
Huh?
Freak shit.
You still make ammo?
No, I want to.
See that?
Hey, we're gonna get the elevator.
You think so? It might be, but no.
Yeah, Jim was big as Grant School, probably wouldn't get beat up in dodgeball. I like that. Man, they got some hellacious trophies. Jesus.
How far did they go back? 02, 04?
That's impressive.
That very much is impressive. Hello.
And see, he's doing the video.
Yeah.